Hi, today we're going to learn how to create a suicide assessment in EduClimber. The first thing you're going to want to do is get into your one login where you see these different tiles. And you're going to look for a tile that says Illuminate Staff Link. Now there's more than one Illuminate tile. So if you don't see it as your frequents, what you're going to do is you're going to go under Everything and you're going to look for Illuminate Staff Link. There's another one that says Illuminate Portal and one that says Illuminate Online. This is just a little bit more simpler to get into. So I'm going to click on Illuminate Staff Link. And then you're going to enter into Illuminate. We don't want to be in Illuminate. We want to be in EduClimber. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come up here to the top right corner, and you're going to see this little E and C. And then you're going to push that. This will get you into EduClimber. Once you're here, you're going to just click OK on this screen, and then you're going to have this up. What you're going to do is you're going to come up here to Student, and then make sure you're on the right calendar year, and you're going to come down here. Now, the border of this is blue, and I always have difficulty when it's blue. It won't let me populate the name. So what I do is I click down here into just this blank, and then it turns it red. Then I can come up here and I can type in the student's name. And the more you click in, the more it will populate it. So I'm going to click on this person. And once I get onto this screen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down below where his picture is, and I'm going to come down to Forms, and I'm going to click on Forms. Now here on this screen, I'm going to look for where it says New Forms, and then it's going to give me a drop-down menu. You're going to keep on going down until you see where it says INT, that stands for Intervention Services. And these are a lot of different documents for intervention services. A couple of things just for your own information. This is a way to access the gender communication plan, the gender support plan. It's also the same place where you're going to access threat assessment forms and all that. But today we're just interested in INT suicide assessment. Okay. Then under title, what you're going to do is you're going to type in SA for suicide assessment. Then you're going to give a space. And you're going to type in the student's first initial. And you're going to type in their last name. Okay. You're going to click private. The reason why you want to click private is because if you do not, then every teacher in the building that has access to that student's records will be able to see their suicide assessment. And so for confidentiality reasons, we need this to be marked private. Then you're going to click Create, and then it's going to generate the form right here. Once it's right here, you'll notice over here on the right, it has it clicked private in here. So as you're working on it, you can make sure. So then you're going to click Open to this document, and this is the actual suicide assessment. It will populate the demographics for the student, the name, gender, age, school, and birth date. You're going to type in here where it says date, risk evaluation completed. And then you're going to come down and you're going to start identifying some of the risk factors. This top part, step 1, is just the screener. So depending on how the student does on this, you will need to complete more of the form, or you'll be able to not have to complete the entire form. So down here, you're going to talk about ideation, whether or not the student, yes, they wish to be dead, no, they don't. And then please put in details down here. The details help us be able to, and help you be able to determine the level of threat for the student. Current suicidal thoughts and details, if they have a method or if they have a specific plan, And if they have plan with intent, all this helps to determine how, like, what the risk level is. Okay. If they've had past suicidal behaviors, that's where you'll put it here. So from that point, from that information, you're going to come down here, and this is the guidelines to help determine from the from the screen, whether or not or what risk level they're at. If they're at a high risk, you're going to follow these steps. You're going to continue to the full assessment, and you're going to contact parents. If they're at a moderate risk, you're going to do the same two things. You're going to still complete the full assessment and then contact parents. Even on the low risk, we ask you to please contact parents and make sure that you're providing resources. One of the things as well is best practices is always to do this with more than one person. You may do a screen by yourself if you determine that the risk is moderate or high risk. We ask you to have either an admin or another mental health person in the full with you. Okay. If at all you're not sure, like if it's somewhere between a moderate and a low risk, consult with somebody else. Okay. One of the things that we would also recommend is that anytime you're doing any type of suicide assessment, you at least let your admin know that assessment was done, even if it's just the screen, and what level that student came out with. So if it's a moderate or high risk, you're going to move on to these next portions, which is presenting symptoms, stressors that the student is under, and again, please putting details. Do they have access to lethal methods? What coping strategies or what protective factors do they have? How many times have they thought about killing themselves? The duration, how long do those thoughts last? How able are they to control those? Reasons for the ideations if they have certain things that are causing this to continue. Then down here is where you're going to, now that you've done the full assessment, this is where you determine your level of risk for the student. If it's a high risk, these are some of the things that we want you to do. Obviously, you're going to contact parents. If it's immediate danger and that student needs to be transferred to a hospital, something like that, please make sure you take care of that. We're going to talk about this community suicide emergency release form here in a moment. That's if the parents decide that they are going to take the student to get evaluated, or just take the student, so that way that takes away liability from us. You're going to develop a safety plan. You're going to give a brief evaluation down here, or a brief summary. This is where the Colorado Crisis Services number is, some local resources in terms of community reach and Pinnock Center. This is that you've completed a safety plan, and that's going to be down here below. You have a reentry plan if the student went home or if the student was hospitalized, and that if you completed the emergency release form for parents, these are boxes that you would check. If you come down here, this is where you're going to print this up. So up here on top, you'll see this print sign. Here you can type in your name and your position. And down here, you're going to summarize your concerns and observations of the student. This part here, you'll sign and have parents sign and have the student sign. Okay, and then you're going to email those to me, and this is my email up here. Then you're going to have down here is going to be part of your safety planning around warning signs, coping strategies, how to make the environment safe, people that are supportive of the student, people they can ask for help. Okay. So this safety plan will get signed by parents and any other staff who are part of that. if there's any transportation needs, if the student rides the bus, but for right now needs to have a special seat on the bus to make sure that they're safe. These are some other considerations to follow. Okay. Once you're done with this, you're going to come up here to the top, and over here on the on the right side, you're going to have a share button. Please click that share button. You're going to click on new, and you're going to share this with 2 people. You're going to share it with me, and that'll populate my name. You're also going to share it, so then you're going to click update. Then you're also going to share it with Julie Small. And so if you type in J Small, it'll populate Julie Small. And then you're going to add her to it as well. Okay. For this point, because this is a demonstration, we're going to delete this part. Okay. Then when you're done with this, you're going to click up here into this top right corner and to get out of that. Now the form should be completed. A couple other things that you're going to want to do, you're going to want to make sure you click save here so that the assessment is saved. The next thing you're going to want to do is click the little box over here so that you've highlighted the assessment you want to complete. And then you're going to come down here to set status. A couple of things about set status. In progress means you're not done with everything, which means that you may still be working on a safety plan. So maybe the student went back to class, but you needed to finish the safety plan the next day with the parents, or you needed to finish the safety plan with the student the next day. You're going to click in progress. Okay. Only click complete when everything is completely done. And even if you've given it a couple days to make sure that that plan is in place. Okay. Once that's done, then you're going to click save. And that is what you are doing. And you are done with that. I'm going to get out of this so that I didn't save the document. Oh, sorry. Maybe I did. Let me go back in. So I forgot to delete this. So I'm going to delete this. Once you click complete, you cannot go back in and edit, and you cannot delete the form. So that is how to complete a suicide assessment on EduClimber. One suggestion would be, so that it makes it a little bit more natural, is you can print up the form. Like you can start populating it by the student, print up the form so that you're not staring at a screen while you're working on the assessment with the student. Okay. One of the other things that in the Google Classroom, under safety forms, is this document. This is a step-by-step document on how to go through all that. There will also be this training that we just completed for suicide assessments, which will have those documents in them as well. Okay. Thank you so much for your time, and good luck. If you ever need any help with an assessment or with any of the technical pieces, please let me know. My name is Ari Carroll. My extension is 2822. Thank you so much, and have a great day.